So, Mike Swift, I was driving back from a road trip today
Hmm.
or over the weekend. And for some reason, because like a dude, a dude in his Mercedes SUV was driving in the left lane and going super slow, I went around him. I didn't say anything. I didn't ride his ass. I just went around him. And literally, like, I'm a quarter of a mile down the road. I'm still in the second lane, like the middle lane. I'm not even in the left lane at this point. This guy drives all the way up to get on my right side just to flip me off because I went around him. Like, it was the most, how dare I have the audacity to go around his Mercedes when it's in the left lane.
I've got nothing to say to that.
Which leads me, well, you know what? Like, don't be a statistic. If you drive or a BMW or a Mercedes, don't be the pretentious douchebag that everybody already thinks you are.
My
Anyway,
apologies to Mercedes drivers.
one of my people I love the most in the world drives a Mercedes, but you know what? She is cool as hell. Not even remotely, you know, like some people. Anyway, welcome to Your Mind. It's Mike Swift. I'm not, and we are up to another what show number 26 or something like that.
We are at show number 27, and that is Stephen Lewis, by the way. We are two old radio guys that got nothing better to do with our time than complain about
Life.
whatever.
A little
Yeah,
shocked that
yeah, pretty
France
much.
got you're a World Cup guy. A little shocked that France got upended today.
Yeah, I was a little surprised about that too in the World Cup. That was but like much like the US, they showed up flat, and I kind of went, "Hey, where is France?"
I
But,
said a while ago, I'm like Spain can be good. It just depends on which Spain team shows up. And today the right team showed up.
they did. They did, and they really didn't do it with much help with Yamal, because he didn't
Mm-hmm.
really, I mean, other than support, he didn't put any balls in the net. So
So who's it down to now? Spain and
Spain, we still got to figure out who's going to play after Argentina and oh gosh, hang on a second. Argentina and England.
England.
And so
It's the English.
once the English, we'll see what happens there, and the cup rolls on. And then the
All right.
ladies do it in a couple of, like what is it, next year? Yeah, next year the ladies
Actually,
do
the
it,
ladies do.
which still yet they seem to be way more entertaining.
The females. I mean,
Yeah, the females are way more entertaining to watch than the males for some reason.
okay. I mean, we'll see. It'll be a another. um, you know who I'm glad is not on the female team anymore because it's the one
Who?
athlete that I cannot stand, and it has nothing to do with her sexuality and everything to do with
Oh yeah,
personality and her.
you,
Megan Rapinoe. I am so glad
Rapino.
Megan Rapinoe is gone. The fact that she hurt herself in her last game was poetic. And I don't mean that
That's
to be
awful
mean,
to
but I
say.
cannot stand Megan Rapinoe.
You know, why?
Her
I'm just curious.
her personality and her attitude. Like, I don't like anybody who carries that personality that they think they're better than everybody else. And that I just and Megan Rapinoe has just rubbed me the wrong way in every sense of the word whenever she opens her mouth. And again, has nothing to do with politics, has nothing to do with her orientation, has nothing to do with anything else.
Okay.
It just, it's just always
I am indifferent when it came to Megan Rapino. I
no offense. This is going to come across mean. Don't at me at this.
No, don't. Then you should probably not say it, but go ahead.
You play women's soccer. You're not the quarterback of an NFL team.
Oh God, yeah, that's horrible, Steven.
I
Yeah,
know.
that was
No, but I
that
mean,
was that
but
was
again,
no, man. That I that's
that's
no
a
see, but
no,
that's
but
but
there's a
that's
there's
but
a
that's the exact attitude that all women's soccer players are trying to push
but
against, and
again,
But
But you can't
look,
push against it. There's an evolution and an echelon in sports. There just is. And I don't care if you're
see,
a
I don't
hockey.
know.
I mean, again,
I don't
I
agree with
love
that.
hockey, Michael. I love hockey. But when it comes to the upper echelon of sports, hockey not in the top three in this country. I'm not being
I
mean.
guess
I'm being factual. What's the
yeah, but
most
no, no,
the NFL owns a goddamn day of the week. They are of the 25
I agree with you. I agree
top
with you
rated
in that
television
regard,
shows
but it
every year.
doesn't.
15 of them are NFL games.
I agree with you.
Then you have baseball. Then you have I would even argue March Madness over the NBA Finals. Then you have March Madness. Women's soccer is nowhere in the top 10 in most viewed sports.
You're absolutely right, but the statement you made is very narrow-minded in thinking, though.
Well, no, but
I understand where you're coming from, but at
to
the end of the day,
demand
that's a shallow statement.
maybe, but again, you're carrying yourself like you deserve a Patrick Mahomes style contract, and for what? Are you putting that many butts in seats on a consistent basis? No, you're not. The WNBA, don't even get me started there. They haven't been profitable since they've been born.
You
Yeah.
see,
Oh, we want to be paid like NBA players. Well, here's the difference. NBA players can sell out 25,000 seat stadiums. You can't even sell out five. The ends don't meet. It ain't nothing about like, it's about math. And your math don't math.
he is at Stephen Lewis on air. You
No,
can
I'm just
see how
saying.
easy it is to push his
I have nothing
buttons.
against women's sports. Nothing against women's sports whatsoever. But
It
don't
sure
carry
as hell
yourself.
sounds like it.
No,
It
don't carry
sure as hell
yourself
sounds like it.
and demand like you deserve, like you should be treated like you're LeBron fucking James when you're not. Don't get me started on him either. But I'm just using that was that was the first name that came to mind.
You know, my psychiatrist put me on some great medication.
Think I should
Kind of
try
put me at an even keel at this point.
it. I
I'm
dosed on
tired
some
as hell all the
Skyrizi.
time, but Dude,
I
you
did.
made it sound like that was smack.
Well,
Dosed
you know
on
what?
some Skyrizi.
I turned on the pulp.
Yeah.
I turned on
As soon
Pulp
as I got
Fiction for
out of the
the.
pharmacy,
No, you think I'm kidding? I turned on Pulp Fiction for the John Travolta getting high reference and injected my Skyrizi.
oh my god!
You
Please,
know,
please tell me you didn't do it in your car while Peaches watched.
down, 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 girl,
Oh
you'll be a
god,
woman soon.
you're over here
I love you so much.
soon.
You'll. No. Anyway,
Oh my god!
none of this is
That's
what's
the
on my
sad part
mind.
is I can picture you doing that,
Peaches is like,
and Peaches is just sitting there.
can I have a new person, please?
Please, what did I get? Oh my God, why did I get on the plane? Why did I take the pill?
anyway, none of what we just talked about is what's on my mind until right now. What's on my mind this weekend or this week is the moment, and maybe for me, missing the moment. And it was kind of, I took a kind of impromptu road trip this weekend. And if you would have asked me a month ago if I were going to be where I was and with who I was with, I probably would have said no. Like it probably would have been, not even anywhere close to the top of my bingo card. But I ended up, I wanted to go. Originally, I was going to go to a lake with some friends of mine, but I had wedding stuff that was going to kind of kind of impede that idea. So I ended up doing an impromptu trip instead. And what I found myself thinking Saturday night was it's been a very long time, and I mean long time, since I have just been in the moment and not thought about anything else in the world. Like, no problems, no, what am I going to do about this? What am I going to do about job? What am I going to do about certain people? Like, none of it. It was just being in the moment. And, taking the simple joy and not even me being in the moment, but just seeing how happy the people I was with were in that moment too. And which had nothing to do with me, by the way, just the general atmosphere and the moment. And I know everybody has their various walks and their various struggles that they go through, but just being like in that moment and only thinking about that and not thinking about anything else, not thinking about your problems, was a very therapeutic thing to do. And I like the way that feels. It's been a long time since I felt that way. And I know you've said it a couple of times. I think sometimes you have to take a leap and see where you land, see where you end up. And I think a lot of my problem has been since, because I'm very good at pointing out my own flaws, despite what some people might think. I think part of my problem since circa 2021, 2022 is I've thought too much about where I was going to land and how I was going to land instead of just taking the leap and seeing what happens. And now I look back and I'm fortunate enough to still be able to be in radio, but I'm not necessarily doing what I 100% want to be doing. And I think the problem that I've started looking at, because here's the problem with my enjoying the moment and just being in the moment, and not thinking about anything else in life. Well, then you throw in a 3.5 hour drive home the next day, and all of a sudden,
yeah, that kind of puts a damper on things, doesn't it?
The mind starts to wander. And I started thinking about, there's a job that I threw out an ad that somebody recommended me for, and they hired somebody else. And that's fine. I'm not bitter about it or anything like that. It most likely probably wasn't a 100% good fit for me. So I never get mad at stuff like that. But what I do get mad about now, and maybe mad's the wrong word, what I do think a lot about now is the moments that I let pass for now what I believe to be the wrong reasons. And that sucks, because there are jobs that, like, when I left indie, that just came my way, that I looked at a map and I looked at the distance of how far they were from where I am. And I was just immediately, nope, 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 appreciate it, but no. You know what I mean? And I went through, and even up until this year, I have interviewed and went to places that I know I did not want that job, but I went anyway. And I don't know why. I thought maybe something was magically going to change my mind when I got there or whatever. But now I'm starting to wonder, like, what would have happened if I wouldn't have passed on some of those moments, if I would have just leaped and not worried about the landing. Because a lot of the time I was like, well, I don't want to end up. I mean, the silver lining to indie was when that ended, I was at least close to where I thought I wanted to be at the time. If I would go someplace farther away and it ended the same way, well, now I've uprooted my life and I'm a lot farther away from anything I know. And I think I start thinking about more of that stuff instead of just taking the leap and seeing what would have happened. And I've become so, like, cautious and jaded that I think it's let me forget about what it was like just to be carefree, to have a chance to do what you and I do. Because there would have been a time where, 19-year-old would have been me, if someone would have called and said, hey, I want you to come out here to, Petersburg, South Dakota. I would have been like, never been to South Dakota before. Let's go. And I would have been fine. And now, I start going, what if I don't like it? what if there's nothing for me to do there that I, other than just the job? Like, you know what I mean? You start asking a bunch of questions. So it's made me wonder, as much as I love the therapeutic joy of being in the moment. And to be fair, I hope that moment happens again. But there's the other side of me that thinks about it and goes, wow, how many good moments might I have missed because I was too worried about where I was going to land instead of just taking a leap and seeing what happened?
Can't help but tell you, I told you so. In a couple of ways. A couple of ways here.
Oh, really?
Well, yeah, for one, because you expressed concern when before you left for your trip. Just and not necessarily in a bad way. You were just kind of like, what if this? What if that? What? And then I just, what did I do? Do you remember what I told you?
Yeah, you got to take a leap.
I told you to just live.
Yeah, basically same thing.
Just, which, yeah, I told you just live in the moment, man. And just stop worrying about it. And I was right. I mean, you had a good time, you
No,
enjoyed
you were wrong.
yourself, and
I did.
and I think the problem with the problem I see being the third party with you is I think you have experienced hardships um to an extent that has left your guard way too far up in some places. And I think if you just learn, it's almost like the kid that's learning to swim and went too far in the deep end, and it's like, oh my God, I almost drowned. Oh my God, it almost killed me. But did you die? You know what
Uh,
I mean? If you're going to swim, you're gonna end up sucking in some water and panicking a couple of times before you've got it down 100%. That I Not the best of analogies, but that's kind of where I was getting with that.
no,
Um,
I mean, the people I was with, we were talking, and I don't think I'm the only one that thinks this way. I think
no.
it depends on what your, it's kind of funny. Everybody's path is similar but different. And
Hmm. Hmm.
I mean that in the sense that different circumstances, but they lead you to be the same way. And I think, sometimes you can be, you can have your life blown up so badly that you just become more cautious with every step.
Oh, I agree with that 100%.
And I
I
think,
you're right.
I think there's the danger of, and this isn't just an idea wrapped around another individual. I mean, this can be an idea wrapped around a career, a job, or anything that you truly
Hmm.
find yourself passionate about. When something like, when you lose something like that at every, in whatever level it is, you just become, you lose the ability to be as carefree as you used to be.
You're 100%
I
right.
mean,
And
if you
I
want, sorry, if
Go ahead.
if if you want to go back to like 2005 ish, losing my job was probably so far down on the list of things that I thought would ever
Mm,
bother me or that I would worry about. But then if you
hmm.
fast
Hmm.
forward to say 2012, it has been constantly, no matter how well or good I was doing at something, it has been constantly in the back of my mind ever since. You know what I mean? And I think it changes. I mean, you and I talked about it a few weeks ago when we used to do, like, there was a time when I wouldn't have been cautious. I threw caution to the wind in pretty much every aspect of my life and didn't have a problem with it. Now I'll be like,
Hmm.
ooh, it's pretty windy out there. I should maybe bundle up a little bit and take smaller steps instead of, you know what I mean? And there's part of me that wishes I knew how to not be that way. There's a part of me that wishes that, you know, I had that I had that lack of responsibility that I used to have because
And
it made me more willing to take chances.
I think from what I've observed of you, I think you have that ability still yet in you. You just, I mean, you kind of proved it this past weekend. Baby steps, but you showed that you can, to an extent, drop the guard and take the training wheels off and pedal and see what happens. And the end result was okay. And I think for you, for one, I think that we're both in a sense saying the same thing. I think we are. It's just that we're saying in for different perspectives. But I think for you, it's almost like I don't know what's up with me and analogies tonight, but it's almost like like the old Looney Tunes Roadrunner and Coyote cartoons where you stepped out in the road in one direction where it was completely clear before you stepped and got ran over by a truck and popped up and went the other direction and got ran over by another truck. You know what I mean? I mean, it's like two different avenues, two different aspects of your life that you got burned and burned badly on. Um, but yet now it's like, okay, now what do I do? Which direction do I go? And I think, again, from being someone who has observed, I think when you just learn to just say, hey, I know the trucks are coming. If I can dip, dodge, duck, and dive.
5 Ds of
Wait,
dodgeball.
I'm missing one. Oh yeah, it's duck. Was it? Yeah, I can't remember the exact, but you get what I'm saying. Um,
Yeah, I mean,
that's
I think
and
that's
that's
why.
just from me, my observation.
Yeah, I mean, I think you're right in a lot of extenses, but I just think you get to a point where you don't want to have something cataclysmic happen again. So
Well, yeah,
it definitely, you know,
but kind of my point, because you kind of alluded to it as in what you were saying, in those places that you decided not to explore, there's a part of you already starting to wonder. And I think knowing what I know of you, I think you at age 78, I'm just throwing a random older number out there. Um, if you are Mr. Play It Safe, Steven, the rest of your life, you're going to look back and wonder, what if I would have? And I think,
I already do that. I look back and
well, yeah,
I go, wow, I should have not passed on this because where would I be? And again, there's always the chance that if you turn left instead of the right, the left turn ends up worse than the right turn did. There is,
the Adjustment Bureau.
yeah,
The movie The Adjustment Bureau always comes to mind in just how the slightest thing in your life can lead you down a completely different path. And I think if you're afraid to make some of those turns in life, you're gonna be
but see,
just as stuck or worse.
I think I would have, I think I would have looking if I know, and we everybody can say this. If I knew now what I didn't know then,
Yeah.
you know, I think I would have not taken. Like I just remember someone telling where I was when someone told me I don't think you should do this, blah 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 blah, and gave me 100 different reasons that didn't end up leading me in the right place at the time. You know, eventually, and now I kind
Yeah.
of wonder, and I go, oh wow, look how well the person they hired for the job they offered me is doing now. You know what I mean? And I kind of and like that kind of
Right, but that's a part of life.
it is.
You can't sit there and pause just because you made
No,
a decision that maybe
I
didn't
know.
pan out.
I know, but I think I would have at least put more effort. I would have put maybe a little more effort into it instead of just being like, yeah, I'm just going to go through the motions for this because it's not something I really want. You know what I mean?
My question,
And not
my question is did you learn? Did you learn something in any of those situations?
I'd say I learned more what not to do. That's the
That's a
lesson.
good answer.
That's the lesson that I learned.
Well, oh, okay. That's a safe answer, actually. When it, but like
Well,
my knee jerk answer was like the Family Feud. Good answer, good answer. Show me potato salad.
I'm taking
No,
baby steps. We're not taking the full leap yet. So same the
yeah,
way we're going.
I get it. I get it. No, the thing is for you.
I'm the
I
most
always know that
frustrating
there's a
person to
little
know, and I
caveat
understand this.
somewhere. What's that?
So I'm the most frustrating person to know, and I understand this.
You can be difficult
I'm the
in
person you just want to
quite a
grab and
few
shake
aspects.
and just be like, why won't you? Why doesn't it
That
sink in?
that there are times where yes, I kind of feel that way.
My
But
mom would probably be like, you really are still 14, aren't you? Yes.
but I get it. It's not because listen, you have experienced troubles and heartaches just as much as the next person. It's just that sometimes I think your guard goes up too quickly and strongly as a result, that it doesn't allow you to just live.
You're probably not wrong. You're probably not wrong.
I will be sending you a bill for
Thanks.
my. For
Who needs better help when you've got Mike Swift?
what I've observed of you. And I think, like we have both alluded to tonight, baby steps. And in that regard, I'm proud of you.
Well, thanks.
And I truly mean that.
Thanks. Thanks. I think. Anyway,
No, really.
no, thank you. Coming from you. But anyway,
Wait,
that's
what is
what's
that
up.
supposed to wait a sec? What
No,
are you
I meant that.
coming
I know.
from
I
me?
after that came out, I'm like, that's not how I really wanted that to sound. No, I mean, like
No, I'm just
you're
giving you
someone I've known you
just giving
long
you
enough
grief.
that I value your like. I truly value your opinion. You're one of the people that like. I appreciate your opinion. I appreciate your being candid, and I appreciate your honesty. So that's how I meant that to sound. It just didn't quite sound
You didn't. No,
that way.
I'm
That's a
just
lot
giving you
coming from
grief, man.
you.
That's
So,
a lot coming from you.
anyway,
No.
that's what's on my mind.
Uh, what's on my mind is probably a little on the sad part. As I told you, a very
Uh,
close friend of mine the other day died tragically in a really horrific car wreck, and I haven't been able to get her out of my mind. Um, we haven't talked in years, and we connected on social media, but I think we had just a couple of conversations, if that. Um, but she was one of my last genuine friends that I had before I stepped into radio.
mm,
And I don't want to necessarily I hate the word celebrity. Um, but as someone who at one point where I grew up, no one knew at all for any reason, and then someone who was fairly well known. Um, Sometimes you gain friends that you don't necessarily or could truly call friend. This person was the latter. This person was the complete opposite. This one was a great great person, truly, truly good friend. And I'm glad to have met her before getting into the business. She was a genuine person.
Okay, I can understand that.
Like I don't know if I'm saying this correctly, that it makes sense where you have a group of friends before you get into a business where you're in the public eye.
Sure, I know exactly. No, I know exactly what you're saying, and you know they were who they were, regardless of what you did.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's what I'm getting at. And I can say she was one of those types of people that I could say, even if I hadn't met her before I got into the business, she's just one of those types of people that you love being around. And like I can't tell you how many nights and hours like hanging out with her and her mom's boyfriend at that time, playing spades and just laughing and just having a genuinely good time. And that poor soul was taken away from this earth way too quickly. But that's not even really what's on my mind. What's really on my mind about it is she had reached a point from what I had seen and known from social media, because again, we didn't talk much, but she was at a point where she was at a turning point. She had reached a point in her life where she was looking to make changes and be better about herself. And what's on my mind is the question, why does it always seem like when good people reach a point in their life where they want to reach another level, um, a direction of positivity, or they've hit a personal epiphany, does it seem like things like tragedy just swallow that person faster? Is it, am I,
No.
am I, is that, am I feeling that way? Am I the only person feeling that way or seeing that? Because it almost seems like some of the people I've known throughout life lose their life when they hit a point like that in their life, where it's like, you know what, a light bulb goes on, and then something bad happens.
Um, I think there's two. This is a twofold question, kind of the answer. I think everybody chases their demons, and I think the goal is to outrun them before they overtake you. And I think sometimes there's the people who just I have a sister like this that didn't outrun their demons fast enough. You know what I mean? Or
Yeah.
they couldn't run fast enough. You know, and just when they thought they were putting a little distance between them, you know, something else happens. And maybe that's karma because of what you did, you know, prior to, and karma finally caught you at the wrong time. I don't know. Like, I certainly don't judge, but I have buried a lot of people or watched a lot of people that I know be buried over the last few years. And I can honestly say every one of them was a better person than me. And it kind of frustrates me sometimes. And this is going to be a morbid thing to say, which I'm not even really sure why I'm saying it, but I'm going to say it anyway. I watch people who passed away that I seem like they've had way more to live for than I do, and way more people in their lives who cared about
Mm-hmm.
them
Mm-hmm.
than what I have.
Mm-hmm.
And I constantly go, well, why'd you go and I'm still here? Like, it doesn't compute to me, because I feel like that coin needs to be flipped and I should be on the other side of that coin. And I'm not trying to make this all about me. I'm just saying that, you know, the world has this terrible way of, Billy Joel wrote a song about it, only the good die young. Like
Only go die young.
it's just, and it's so true because you look at people and you go, you know, I saw a girl I know posted someone that she knows passed away at 27. And I'm like, okay. And I read the obituary of somebody I don't even know today. But in reading that obituary, I'm like, why is this guy gone? That's not right. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
this guy's gone already, and I'm all the stuff that I could list that I did, and I'm still here. Like, what the hell for? That's not fair. You know, and I don't have an answer for it. But so I don't know. Like, and it's just kind of, I mean, there's the cliche saying that you never know when somebody when they punch your number, they punch your number, and you don't know when that's
Yeah.
gonna. You know what I mean? And I think
Mm-hmm.
there's a song. It's a country song. It was never a big, massive hit, but I always loved it for the words. It's Thomas Rhett and Tyler Hubbard and I forget who the third person is, and I'm sorry, but they visited a bunch of prisoners, and there's a lot. I'm gonna actually, while I'm telling you this story, I'm actually gonna look up the lyrics about it. um
Brother, that's money. You better answer.
no, it's the fucking old man that won't leave me alone, which is good. It'll give me time to edit this.
Block his number.
Yeah, I'm not doing your fucking uh okay. Anyway, there's a line in this song. It was never a massive record, but the line in the song is, um, then it hit me, we're all human, ain't always proud of what we done. Everybody's days are numbered. Only difference is they all know which ones. And I was like, wow,
Mm.
okay. You
Mm.
know, like when that sinks in, you're like, oh yeah, okay. You know what I mean? Like, if you knew when I think you'd live your life differently if you knew. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if you knew,
Yeah.
all right, October 14th, 2028 is my last day. Your time left would change drastically for things.
Absolutely.
So you never know. And it sucks because I think that's what makes it more tragic is if you see someone getting on a better path and then something like that happens, you start asking the question like, well, why now? Like, you know, just when they had to like see how that was supposed to play out first, and then maybe, you know what I mean?
And in all honesty, it almost am I weird for feeling this way? Because it almost makes me afraid to really take a deeper look at myself. They like for example, here's kind of what I'm getting at. So my car has a safety feature that if the airbags deploy, it can alert 911 and people of my choosing. I've
Okay.
never initiated that safety feature because I feel like the second I do, something's going to happen. You know? And am I weird for feeling like that? Because I kind of apply that same feeling when I see something like this happen, where it's like, gosh, well, I mean, I know there are changes that I need to make in my life, but if I do, what's gonna happen to me? Like, like something bad gonna happen to me? I mean, am I weird for thinking like that? And am I weird for feeling that way?
No.
Is that selfish?
Um, no, I don't know because again, I know people who have lived, we'll call it a charmed life, and have lived, you know, as good can be, and they still find themselves on the wrong end of that stick. for whatever reason. So I don't know that that's I don't know. You know what I mean? I really don't. I don't have that answer. That is something I have questioned all my life. Like why do you let scumbags linger as long as you do, but you pull a good person out quick? You know what I mean? Couldn't the good person do what make this world a much better place than the scumbag you've let linger for years too long? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't have that answer. I don't. But I know what it's like to lose someone and not have gotten a chance to catch up with them more or whatever. When I came back to Ohio, it's kind of funny. Like, there was a girl, and I look at it now, and it was pure infatuation. She was always older than me, which was kind of cool, I thought at the time. But like, I remember being in college, and I was petitioning into the same class that she was. And at the time, I saw her, and she was the most beautiful girl I had seen at the time. I mean, just blonde hair, cut off jean shorts, like white gym shoes, and just standing there waiting to petition into a class. And I remember telling my roommate at the time, I'm like, I met a girl today that I will go out with at some point in time. Like, I will make it my mission to date this girl. And I did. Now, I don't like how it changed me looking back on it, but in the time that I spent with Jennifer, I had learned that she had made a life out of choosing the wrong guy, whether they be abusive, whether they be whatever. And I remember, like, a few years prior to me coming back to Ohio from Michigan, the person I was seeing at the time, like, I cut off contact with a lot of people because I didn't want, just because it would have made that relationship hell or whatever. And I do kind of regret that part, but I remember trading a couple of emails with her, and she had said something about, hey, she doesn't check her email because whoever she was dating now or whatever is real paranoid about it or something along those lines. I'm like, okay. So when I got back to Ohio the first time, I wanted to reconnect. I just wanted to say hi. Like, I had no intention other than like having lunch or just catching up or whatever. So I had sought her out on social media, and we were friends on social media, but she didn't do a lot of posting or whatever. And I got back in Ohio in March. She passed away in January. And it just bothered me because I didn't get that chance to reconnect, to kind of say some things and talk some things. And I mean, and then when you realize that that person's not there, and then to find out that she had gotten really sick and passed away and left at the time, an 8-year-old little boy behind and all that, like, it just really saddened me that I didn't get a chance to know that side of her. I didn't get a chance to see, I didn't get a chance to visit her while she was sick and have a conversation with her or anything else. And it just kind of, like, that bothered me for a while. And
there is a I'm so sorry. No, please finish your thought.
that's what I was gonna say. I said, I was gonna say, so I understand what you mean, where you're in contact with people, but you're not really in contact with people, and then you get to that point where, like, you kind of wish, oh, maybe I should have, you start to think, well, maybe I should have tried harder to connect sooner, and then and that sucks.
That reminds me of another friend of mine, in the same regard. As a matter of fact, we both met this person, and um over the years I kept a friendship. And just one day on social media, I'm on, because I'm not on, I'm I'm weird. I will post on social media. I'll post stuff that I see, but I'm really not on social media that much. Like, I don't really look at other people's stuff that much. I really don't, especially at this point in time. But this person's daughter had posted about this person passing, and it was like, it was such a shock I had no idea that there were any issues or anything going on. And I was just completely floored. Excuse me. I was completely floored by this person's passing because I had no idea, you know, what was, that there was even an issue in the first place. Um, but it just, I don't know. I guess in the long, at the end of things, it's a part of life, I guess. One of the ugly parts of life is seeing other people go, especially when it's tragically too soon. And it makes you look at your own every time. If you're anything human, you look at your own mortality, and I think you kind of look at your own checks and balances at that point. And let's just be honest, most of us can say those checks and balances are usually out of whack. They're
Oh,
not where they should be.
100%. 100%. 100% out of whack. That's the way it always is. It
And
sucks.
that's what's on my mind.
Yeah, that's a lot to think about. I mean, I think that I kind of joke about this, but it's kind of the way I live my life. Like, I feel like I'm probably going to be the person that goes someplace in the afterlife where I have a sunburn that irritates me for the rest of my life, which isn't going to be pleasant per se, but I'm not going to be the one of the dudes being spit roasted over a river of flames. So I kind of look at, you know, that's my that's my degree of, because again, there's part of me that goes, I'll try to live the best life that I can, but then there's other parts of me that goes, yeah, I know all the bad stuff that I've done that I shouldn't have done. And yeah, I know that's still on my ledger, and I know it's not cleared off my ledger, kind of thing. And there's some people that like you just can't make amends to. And
And you're right. But I kind of feel like that's just how you have to look at all of the mistakes in your
I agree,
life.
I do
At
because I
some
think
point, you can't catch up to all of the mistakes
no,
that you've made throughout life,
no, you can't.
whether they're big or small.
And I mean, again, and I look at stuff that I'm like, there are people that I'm like, yeah, I'm not sorry about anything that happens to you, and I'm not sorry about the way I treated you. You want forgiveness, find Jesus, because this guy doesn't forget. Like that's just how I am. Like, and I know that. So
There was a reel. You know what? I put it on my feed on social media like a week or two ago, and it talked about forgiveness. And basically what the guy was saying was, listen, and I imagine in the conversation someone challenged or questioned how he may have handled a bad situation where someone may not have deserved forgiveness, or he may have been burned really bad to the point where someone went, wow, and you're still communicating with that person. And basically what he said is, look, I can wish you well in life and still not be close. But what I'm not going to do is sit there and waste my energy in life wishing bad on you over what happened between you and I.
sure,
And and then that's and I'm it's a long, like what he said is way more powerful and long-winded. But what I took from that is, and something else he said is if something bad has happened between someone else and myself, and you I've forgiven you, but you're angry with me that we're not in the same place, it's because there's a step in that process that you've skipped in
sure,
your expectations.
sure. No, I think there are definitely people I have in my life that, there are a few right on the top of my head that I might not wish you bad, but I sure as hell don't wish you well.
Mm-hmm. And it's kind of referring to another reel that this was another reel that I posted months and months and months and months ago. One of the advantages of ADHD is I can cut you off very easily and forget about you. because I do because I have forgotten about you. And that's one of the pleasures and um drawbacks of having ADHD is that people are not in your forefront unless they are literally in front of your face. And kind of relates back to the friend that I was
Yeah.
bringing up at the beginning of what was on my mind. Is it sucks because sometimes you lose important people
Yeah,
in
1000%.
those situations.
For
You
sure.
know,
What bothers me is
whether you have ADHD or not, it can happen.
it's not just ADHD. I mean, for me, I'm like, since my strokes, I've noticed some short term memory problems. And I kind of want to be like, what about some other long term memories? There's some stuff I don't want to remember. Can we
There's a
get
lot
into
of things
that?
I'd love to. Yeah, no,
I'd love to know
and
where
that's
I'd love to know where I
it's.
put my DJ equipment 900 times and I've used it in a row. I wish can I keep that, but can I lose some of this other stuff? From like 2006 on. That'd be great.
No, I hear you because those same things happen to me all the time. It's like, why am I remembering this, but I can't forget that,
Right?
or
Exactly.
I need to forget that, you
Exactly.
know? But
Ugh.
anyway,
All
so
right.
that's like I said before, that was on my mind, and in
All right.
all of that, I think I've even said this at the end of one of our podcasts of previous. Those hold on to those that you love, and don't forget about those people that even for a moment were significant in your life to, reach out and just say hey every once in a while.
Yeah, I always say at the end of my movie blogs, I've said it for years. Go spend time with people you like, love, or tolerate because time is limited.
Mm, that's a good one.
That's
I
actually
like
me.
it.
I actually came up with that on my own. I didn't steal that. That's the second thing in my life that I can say that I came up with on my own. That one, and whoever said money can't buy happiness hasn't been
You
shopping at the
didn't
right
come up
malls.
with that. You
I
didn't
did
come up with
too. That
that.
is my quote. That
Matter
is
of fact,
my
it's
quote
as a matter of
forever.
fact, I heard a celebrity say that on TV the other day,
And
and I
they
wish I
heard
could
one of
tell
my
you who it
radio
was.
broadcasts and they stole my shit. That is an original. It has been an original since I have been in the ninth grade. That's where I came up with that quote. I have had it forever. Whoever said money can't buy happiness ain't been shopping at the right malls. That is my 90s brain at work.
It's sad that that's one of the things that you've said that has stuck with me throughout my entire
I know, right?
life.
On
The
Samuel,
first time I heard you say it, I was like, wow, there's actually some sad truth to that.
there is. On tombstones, people, beloved husband, father, and grandfather. Samuel L. Jackson's tombstone, Path of the Righteous Man. My tombstone, whoever said money can't buy happiness hasn't been shopping at the right malls.
You're gonna have to come up with something else other than that because
There'll be
that's a
some,
lot to put. That's expensive to put on a
well,
tombstone.
there'll be some kid that reads it 20 years from now, like, what's a mall?
Uh,
It's a place where kids of a different time used to go and just hang out.
it's a place where mommies and daddies used to meet up and sell each
They
other's
bought
soul to one
they
another.
bought smoothies and tried on clothes. You mean they didn't just have their
They,
clothes delivered to them? No, they actually put them on in dressing rooms.
it's a place where grandma and grandpa used to meet up at the food court and
Exactly.
look at and listen to CDs at Sam Goody.
You might still be able to find pictures of one online. On that note, that is what's on our minds.